Well, Jim, let's talk about AEW Dynamite on TBS as usual on Tuesday, October 7th, 2025, 8 to 10 p.m. Now, they ran past that. They ran to what, 10:30 again?
Yeah, they're at 10:35.
Yeah, they're running. Every show's now 2.5 hours. It's been the last few weeks. On average, watched by 321,000 viewers.
Ouch. So we can assume, based on these numbers that we're being given, which are all up in the air, and who knows what the story is on these things. But since they're using the same measurement parameters from one week to the next, we can assume that not only did nobody not watch NXT to watch AEW, but more people watched NXT this week that it had wrestling opposition than it did last week by being measured under the same system.
Yeah.
But somewhere around 320,000 of AEW's normal fans who would watch on Wednesday either remembered to, cared to, or did make the choice to switch nights and watch them here.
And last week,
So
last week in their usual Wednesday night spot, they did their record low of 465.
Well, and that was their first big experience with the new rating system. So now this is the second experience they've had, but they're also on a different night. If next Wednesday is back up in the fours, at least, then we will know that it was the night change. And if it's not, then we'll just say, Jesus Christ. But go ahead. Do we have quarters or halves?
Oh, we got quarters.
Dimes?
We've got the quarters here.
You dime bags in that company?
These were compiled by WrestleNomics. Quarter 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m. Samoa Joe and Adam Page's live promo and Mark Briscoe's backstage promo. 445,000 viewers.
Okay, so I do apologize. 445,000 knew that it was on and started watching it. They just apparently ain't going to keep them. Go ahead.
Yeah, they started right where they left off last week. Quarter 2, 8:15 to 8:30 p.m. And by the way, that was 117,000 in the key demo since I discussed it for the other show. I'll bring it up here. 8:15, 8:30 p.m. Tomohiro Ishii versus Jon Moxley, a picture-in-picture. 350,000 viewers.
Good Lord. Out of 445,000, they lost 95,000 in 15 minutes.
People wanted to see what was on each channel. It was Adam Page and Samoa Joe, followed by Moxley versus Ishii versus the Hardy Boys Hardy Boys match.
Yeah.
Followed by the start of that women's thing. Second quarter here.
They definitely didn't want to see Moxley and Ishii. That's for sure. Go ahead.
And that did 101,000 in the key demo. Quarter 3, 8:30 to 8:45 p.m. The Young Bucks backstage promo, an ad break, Tony Storm Chris Statlander video, and the start of the Hurt Syndicate versus the Demand street fight, and with picture-in-picture. 354,000 viewers.
So they actually picked 4,000 back up once they got rid of Moxley and the potato.
99,000 in the key demo. Jim, if you still have it there, what did NXT do in quarter 2? Because that would have been, or segment 2, 8:30.
Well, 8:30 to 9 o'clock would be 672,000 people for NXT with 150 in the key demo versus for the first 15 minutes of that period, 354,099. So they're not quite doubling the audience, and they're about half again in the key demo.
When we go to quarter 4, 8:45 to 9 p.m., the continuation of the Hurt Syndicate Demand match, followed by an ad break. 323,000 viewers. 88,000 in the key demo.
Yeah, I told you that one was a rough one to watch for a while, but did they? Now, here's the thing. At 9 o'clock, it appears that NXT loses a significant portion because even though we've only got the half hours, when we go to the third half hour, they go down from 672 to 622. Does that mean that AEW got a big pickup in quarter 5 at 9 o'clock?
Well, they do call it the big 9 o'clock hour. Jim, 9 to 9:15 p.m., quarter 5. The Don Callis backstage promo. KM versus Orion. Okay, I don't know what the hell he wrote here. WrestleNomics. The Jurassic Express match. The post-match with the Young Bucks. The Pac backstage promo. And the start of Kyle Fletcher versus Kyle O'Reilly. 321,000 viewers.
Ouch.
107 in the key demo.
Okay, they lost 1,000 people, but they gained 19,000 in that particular age group. I'm smelling stinky fish all over the place here these days.
Well, Jim, that stink will continue into quarter 6, 9:15 to 9:30 p.m. The continuation of Fletcher versus O'Reilly. The post-match with the Callis family and Roderick Strong and Mark Briscoe, followed by an ad break. 277,000 viewers.
Ouch.
97,000 in the key demo.
And then the key demo is still 97,000 when there's 277,000 viewers versus the key demo was 88,000 when there was 322,000. So I don't know what's happening here.
Well, we go now to quarter 7, 9:30 to 9:45 p.m. The Kyle Fletcher backstage promo. Mercedes Moné versus Lacey Lane with picture-in-picture. The Sammy Guevara Beast Mortos backstage promo. 270,000 viewers. 86,000 in the key demo.
Well, that's the low on everything so far. At this point, they got to come up somewhere to hit their average, don't they?
Well, we'll see what the rest of the story tells us. We will now go to quarter 8, 9:45 to 10 p.m. I remind you, we have a 33-minute overrun, so there'll be 3 more quarters to talk about after this. The usual end of the show, 9:45 to 10 p.m. An ad break. Brodito versus Okada and Takeshita with picture-in-picture ads. 249,000 viewers, 72,000 in the key demo.
By the time they get to the end of this, are they going to owe us viewers?
Well, we shall see, but those are the lows right there. We now go to the big 10 o'clock hour, quarter 9, 10 to 10:15 p.m. The continuation of Brodito versus Okada and Takeshita, the Jet Speed Willow Nightingale promo, an ad break, Stokely, FTR, Megan Bain, Penelope Ford backstage promo. Why are they all together? Brodito's backstage promo, and the start of Orange Cassidy versus Pac. 325,000 viewers, 77,000 in the key demo.
Okay, wait a minute. So it was, as I recall, Impractical Jokers was listed as the program afterwards at 10:30 to 11. We're still at 10 o'clock here. But how
did people turn off NXT and go here? And not even a large amount. I mean, less than 100,000. Did 80,000 people say, hey, I'm going to go see what's going on over there?
Okay, now I'm sorry, I forgot about that point because that is 76,000. But while they gained 76,000 people, they say they only gained 5,000 in the key demo. So, yeah, but that's okay. That saved them. That influx right there saved AEW from one of the most miserable numbers ever. What was 9:45 to 10 before? Or I'm sorry, what was 10:15 to 10:30 before we get to the overrun?
We have 2 more quarters to discuss here. 10:15 to 10:30 p.m. Continuation of Orange Cassidy versus Pac, and the post-match with Darby Allin and the Death Riders, or at least the start of it. 301,000 viewers, 76,000 in the key demo. 3 minutes past that, 10:30 to 10:33. More of the post-match. 304,000 viewers, 77,000 in the key demo.
Yeah, at least they got the last half hour. Because if you took that out, they wouldn't have been over 300,000 for an average if you took out those last 2 quarters and the overrun. Good night.
It's a sad state of affairs.
And I mean, who knows what the validity is of any of these numbers, but they're all being judged in the same fashion, and it didn't look good for Tony's ponies.